Hello, Ori fans, and welcome to the All Cells, No Restrictions exhibition between Shed and Jitaenow. I'm Meldon Tarragon, and I'm joined by Avuki, and we will be commentating for this. Hey, Avuki, how you doing?
I am doing mighty fine. I actually see everything in 320p, so it's perfect.
just enough pixels to figure out what's going on.
Exactly. That's exactly what I see when I run this game. So no change there. Perfect.
Yeah. So I'm guessing we're going to be starting very shortly.
Shed is going to run on one life mode, I see.
Should make this category a lot better, considering the number of Terra clips makes that nearly impossible. Actually, probably completely impossible.
Yeah. Is there a way to Terra clip without dying? I guess not, right?
I don't think so. No. And the runners are being counted off right now, and here they go, or very shortly. So So this category, for anyone who's not aware, requires collecting all cells, which includes ability cells, health cells, and energy cells. And then you have to go beat the game. And the no restrictions means that all tricks, TA, warp displacement, and out of bounds are allowed. And we will be seeing a decent amount of out of bounds. And I think only Shed will be warp displacing. Jite does a slightly different method during that part of the route,
which will give us an interesting time difference, I guess, because warp displacement usually does make the game a little faster.
Yeah, so I was talking with Shed, and I think he said that they estimate that the warp displacement is around 4 seconds faster.
As I see, a little bit faster. In 80%, we use the warp displacement to just skip basically all of the game, so that's an interesting trick, definitely. It's also what makes 80% really not a lot of fun.
Yeah, thankfully the warp displacement here is nowhere near as bad.
Also, it's way more useful since you have a very different goal than just beating the game. We will have a very different way of beating the game, if I recall correctly.
Yeah, it'll be the out of bounds from R1.
Yeah. So that's we will see that later, of course.
No spoilers.
No spoilers. But for now, we are just basic Ori. We're just running. We just got Sane, our first ability in the game, which is what allows us to attack. In this area, we are taking intentional damage, trying to get us to 1 HP, so we can do our first trick of the game, which is called a ghost door. And what ghost doors are, we have these keystone doors, as you can see on Shed's screen right now. He put on the keystones into the door, then he saved afterwards, then died, and after respawning, the doors open immediately. And you don't have to wait for the door animation.
Yeah, it's very interesting. The door actually then closes and then reopens afterwards. So there's just a short window where you can get through it. But that's enough for both our runners.
If you're too far away from the door or just wait for way too long, you actually have to wait for the door to open again.
Yeah.
So that's a little thing. Here's the first major route difference, by the way. Jite just went and got the 4th health cell a little early, while Shed decided to skip that to run with 3 HP for the early game, which is not a big difference for now. It usually saves up to 8 seconds in approaching the first ability tree, which is wall jump.
Yeah, so this will give Shed a little bit of an artificial lead right now, as he will have to come back and get that cell later, but getting it later is a little faster, so...
I think it saves 3 seconds in all cells to get it later, right? Something around that. since you have.
All I know is it's
better
not 8 seconds, so I don't know what time it
Yeah.
is.
You have way better movement options back in that moment. Then.
Yeah,
So
and where you have to
we-
come back there for that ability cell, it makes sense to route it out of the early game, but having early health can be useful.
That's true. Most of the enemies here don't do really enough damage to make you worried. The thing is that optimal strats need you to take a bunch of damage boosts, like Shed just did in the elbow. So he's a little low on health right now, and any major mistake would throw him back all the way to wall jump. So GTA is a little safer here. But both of these runners have run this part of the game countless times.
Yeah, and
As
Chet
we
actually
know-
takes another damage there. Oh, and he dies!
Ooh, that's a big setback. Ooh,
That is
that hurts.
serious commentator curse there.
I should have just shut my mouth. I'm kind of sorry, Shed. Kind of.
So with that, Jite takes the lead and is doing our first SA here, or save anywhere. So this is a form of menu storage where we're able to store this ability menu, and the thing that makes this very useful is when you level up an ability in the game, Ori saves. So we're able to use this to save in kind of unique locations, skip cutscenes. Later it'll be used for Terraclips as well. And menu storage in general also allows us to do teleport anywhere. If we open up a menu during or while on a teleporter, it allows us to move while still teleporting later.
Which will be. Oh, and GT takes his first death. That
So
almost catches them up to the same point now. That is. That was also a costly death. That was interesting.
yeah, indeed. So Shed's still a little behind. He is skipping this BRB cutscene as well, with his own save anywhere. But
Oh, GT. Now they're really close to each other. Well,
yeah, with that, Jite actually falls back into second place.
I guess they decided to make this race close from the start till the end. This will be interesting. I hope.
Yeah,
God.
but this just shows how dangerous BRB can be. That spike pit that Jite's over right now deals 4 damage, so or 3 damage. So if Jite hasn't taken any previous damage, he can survive 1 hit there, but getting out of it is still quite difficult.
That spike pit is basically impossible to get out of. It's really, really hard, and you can only get there if you're already all the way on the right.
Yeah.
And if you're expecting to take the damage, that's another thing, so it's really hard to do. Oh, GG. Almost dying there. That was close.
Yeah, as long as he's safe with these lasers, he should be good for the time being.
Takes the lasers a bit safe, which is definitely a good idea.
Yeah, unfortunately gets a bad cycle of these platforms, but I'm sure he'll take a bad cycle over dying again.
True. As we know, every cycle in this game costs you 8 seconds. Every time. Oh god. Oh, GT, that was scary.
He is still at 2 health, so...
Alright, so... but he almost
4 health
missed
not
the
proving
platform
necessary, but definitely helping him out.
Definitely.
So for anyone who's familiar with the all skills category, normally you follow up getting dash here with going and doing Frankie Walk, but since this category allows out of bounds, instead both our runners will go down into lower BRB to the boulder chase section, and they'll use that boulder to force them out of bounds through the floor down into Grotto. And that's a way to kind of skip the whole Death Gauntlet sequence and get to double jump much quicker.
I know. There would be a health cell in that boulder chase sequence too, but we'll get that much later. When we're getting to the cell collection portion of the game.
Yeah.
So they both just use the menu storage, the save anywhere trick to skip a darkness lifting cutscene. And now they both got dash, which is arguably one of the best abilities in the game. Still think that Bash is better, but
Dash is definitely the most game-breaking ability in the game right
Dash
now.
is definitely the most game-breaking ability. That is true. Here you see on chat screen how he gets out of bounds. He uses the boulder, stands in a very specific spot, and now he dashes while underground.
Oh, and he actually will be getting this health cell.
Oh yeah, exactly.
So,
He saved while out of bounds. Now he can rekindle the save he used, and if he kills himself now, he will respawn out of bounds. So he can just go get the health cell and then get the out of bounds to this area.
So I think that health cell is in the route right now because they need to get enough health to start getting some of these underwater swimming cells.
Yeah, they need a lot of health.
Wow, they are so close right now.
Yeah, Jitaenow just got the Grotto early cycle, and Shed didn't. So that was very close to each other.
And Shed with a slightly faster Ghost Door gives him back a very slight lead. And Jitaenow takes one death on his way down here. Not very costly. He just saved at the Ghost Door.
Jitaenow decided to go for a save anywhere for all this section down here, so he doesn't have to save down at the tree, which of course obscures his vision, and that is never good for running.
Yeah, it makes for some blind movement on the way in and some blind movement on the way out.
Well, blind movement not per se, but
you're not
hard
totally
to see.
blind.
Hard to see. There's harder ways there's ways to make your gameplay experience much more blind than this. Yes.
But vision impaired on the way in.
Yes.
And I actually didn't notice, but I'm guessing Shed had a very quick grotto skip here.
I guess.
And Jitaenow gets it first try with a slight extra jump against the wall, but still very clean.
So I guess here we can mention how they skip cutscenes right there. There's a cutscene down there that should start a bunch of boulders falling down on your head right here, and there, as you can see, are no boulders. If you put down a save and walk into a cutscene trigger and rekindle the save, you can just exit and re-enter the game, and the cutscene is basically skipped. Because the trigger for I have watched this cutscene and this cutscene has started are basically the same.
Yeah, that type of rekindle skip is the easiest way to skip cutscenes in the game. If that's not possible, then we'll often see a save anywhere used in place of it to again save once the cutscene has started.
Also, one of the first ways we found to skip cutscenes in the game, so that was very early in the game's life cycle. Shed being on a very specific XP route right there, picked up a bunch of XP in that spiky area, just as Jitaenow did it. And we need those level ups for later.
I actually don't know where the level ups are exactly routed in for this category.
Usually for all cells, they are routed so you get full energy refills in the late game, so you can charge dash more, which is
it's just the category's changed so much in recent times that I don't know which locations are
that is true.
The specific spots where they want more energy.
They're taking a lot of damage there. Now taking it safe and killing the slime on his way up. Just a little slow, but
so we see a noticeable difference between these two routes is Jitaenow did not get the Thornfelt Swamp teleporter, while Shed did. And Shed has to get that because he will be using that teleporter for his warp split later, while Jitaenow will be teleporting back to Grotto and does not need to come back to the Swamp teleporter.
Yeah, exactly. Both of these players will not be doing the water escape at all, am I correct?
Yeah, there's no water escape in this category anymore, so they'll just be teleporting out of Grotto. out of Ginso. And I believe we'll see Shed go to Glades while Jitaenow will head to Grotto.
Which will be a major difference. Shed not going for the damage boost fast strat there. I'm a little disappointed. the 1 second time save. Also, GT not opting for not going for that too.
Just playing it safe right now.
This is a race after all, and this is very close. Here, another thing that you wouldn't see in all skills. You can just use that rock in the top left to push you out of bounds upon re-entering the game, and then you can just skip the entire puzzle. Now doing the first Jinzo mini boss, which with a triple shot is really nice.
Yep, and a very clean mini boss by Shed. And then take some damage afterwards.
Is that intentional? I'm not sure. I don't think so, right? There's nothing to take.
It could be.
For.
So depending on how much health they have, it might be intentional so that he's able to get this ghost door more quickly. I saw his health real quickly, but
yeah,
if he gets this ghost door with a single damage against these spikes,
right now, yeah.
So that was intentional damage. Very well done.
Still a very close race, both getting Bash, the other most useful ability in the game, which lets you redirect yourself and projectiles and gives you a speed boost, a tiny one. And if you're Shed going for the level up.
Oh,
Shed, no.
That's unfortunate damage to take.
You don't want that, no. But he gets the backup very easily.
Yep, and still retains a very slight lead on Jitaenow right now. Ooh, looks like Jitaenow also messed up his shot. Not by walking into it, but it must have just hit the ceiling or floor. So he has to also go for a second one.
Shed not getting the energy cell yet. Is that intentional?
Well, if he's key duping, then yes.
Oh yes, of course. Key duping. You need to. Yeah. I'm sorry. Slight mistake on my part. They do have to key dupe first, or else they wouldn't save the energy cell they just picked up.
Yeah, they need some extra keys to get into Stomp, and since they don't have clean water at that point, swimming is definitely out of the question.
Well, there is a way, but it takes 7 health and a perfectly timed level up, and
well,
they have neither.
Getting the keystones from down underneath the water is nearly impossible with this amount of health. It actually probably is impossible. Just getting into Stomp would be a little more interesting, but that keystone door is the main challenge.
Definitely.
And we see Shed going for his warp displacement, so he has now... and he messes it up the first try, so he will have to reload.
Walking into the slime on accident. This is rather costly, since he will go teleport to Grotto first and then back.
Yep, so he will do this again, and so we see him now storing this menu. He's going to go kill himself, start the teleport, and then go stay on the very left side of this platform. And he will just appear at an ability cell over by the Ginso tree, and he gets it. There we go.
While Jitaenow at the same time is now doing the entrance to the Stomp area by bashing the frog in a very specific way. He now will use the shots of the frog to destroy the ground down here and the ceiling.
Very clean by both of them.
And grab an all cells and grab an ability cell on the way.
So both runners going for hyperspeed here, and only Shed gets it, so he will take a very slight lead again. Still, there's a lot of race left.
Also, Shed is still ahead by a little bit more even, since he already has the ability cell, which Jitaenow still has to pick up.
Oh, that's true, yes.
So there's a slightly bigger lead than it might seem right now.
Still, to both be on the same tree at the same time is a very close race.
A very close race indeed. On chat screen, we see that beautiful water is still being poisoned. Ooh.
And Shed will now...
He tries to get... he tries to get the fish so he can double bash it up and get an energy cell, which GT just does very smoothly. And now Shed gets it too.
Yeah, so Shed had taken some damage and needed to heal up, so that's why he was killing himself on the fish so he could resave, but he had a little bit of trouble with that.
Now GT picked up the ability cell that Shed already had.
We still see both runners on the same cutscene, although Jitaenow now has the very slight lead.
That is true. There's a little bit of a of a flip out of the camera because there's a cutscene playing up top above the two players, and the game doesn't really know what to show you, so it pans up and wants to show you the cutscene, but it can't. So that's a little bit of a thing. Now both of these players using the Frankie to get the ability cell on that tree, which also helps them because they need to skip the Kuro cutscene. Should they go just through the middle of the tree, they would be right in the middle of a cutscene. Here they just open up. you can talk. You can talk. Sure, go ahead.
So opening this up, they'll be back later, and they're going to clip through a wall, and they're gonna end up in that water that they just stomped that floor. Shed having a little trouble. They just stomped the floor of, and so that is purely because they need to get out of there when they return later.
Exactly. If they wouldn't do it now, they have no way to get out of there at all.
Ooh, Jite saved, so that is not very costly. He had
almost
saved himself twice there.
That would have cost him a lot of time if he hadn't saved there.
Yeah. Playing with my nerves.
Just a little bit. Now they both want the Frankie down there, so they can use him. And a little bit.
And Shed starting a slightly earlier save anywhere. It's interesting. Now both runners have had a longer sequence they've kept a save anywhere up for, but it's been different sequences for each runner.
That is true, but in this case they're using the same place and trying to skip a cutscene here on this tree with the save anywhere.
And they also very importantly get charge dash here, which will open up the ability to rocket jump, and we'll see that fairly shortly when they are getting into Sorrow, which is our next destination. I suppose after we get Feather.
Yes, rocket jump being a very, very useful ability. Well, charge dash being a very useful ability with the rocket jump that Shed just did. It gives you the ability to fly really high into the sky in a really short time.
That was a very clean lower valley from Shed.
That is true. Also getting that ability cell, no problem.
And now both runners will be going for fast stompless. And that shot looks okay for Shed. See how his movement is.
Movement is absolutely clean. He gets the ability cell. So what happened there in this trick is they are aiming a shot of a spider, then running away as fast as they can to deload the area. And now the spider shot can travel all the way up to a rock formation that needs to be hit and takes damage. And once the rock formation takes damage, this cutscene starts and teleports Ori you have the time to just go and grab the ability cell back there until the spider shot hits. And that's what both of them are doing.
Yeah, it basically makes that ability cell free to get.
Exactly.
He's Shed having a
spaghetti a little bit on the Sorrow Bash, but yeah, he's back. He's back on track. This is fine.
Yep. Very clean after that first mistake.
Here now we're going to see a little bit more of Sorrow Pass than you usually get to see in all skills runs.
Yeah, meanwhile, Jitae's having a little trouble with his Sorrow entrance.
That is...
Looks like he has the bird in the right spot. He's taking some damage, but they have plenty of health now. Yep. Bird might have died, but he still gets through there successfully.
Perfect. Easy as always. No one ever misses a Sorrow Bash, as we know.
This fog is giving him some trouble here. That's such a great little, like, cute little rocket jump they do off that spider there to get up to this lever.
That is true.
Just barely get enough height.
That was something that was first done by the test, by the all cells test we did. Since then, it's been a little bit of a thing for all cells runners. It's absolutely not necessary, by the way, too. It's just really cute.
Yeah, it's probably a little faster than waiting for a spider shot, but
definitely.
The swag is really why you do it.
Yes, that's true.
And
Shed now standing in front of charge jump, which gives him more yet again more movement options.
Yeah, this makes shorter vertical jumps much easier, not requiring something like that rocket jump. But of course, for any of the large vertical distances they need to traverse, they will still be rocket jumping.
Gives him also a little bit more control.
Yeah, and allows him to, most importantly... Sorry, continue?
No, it just gives him a little bit more control than a rocket jump, since a rocket jump is really fast and stopping it at the right time can be tricky.
Yeah. The most important thing is it allows them to break through that wall that we just saw Jitae go through. And since there's a cell behind it, they definitely have to get charge jump. So should probably mention it's coming up shortly as Shed starts heading down towards Misty. We'll see our first Terraclip, and it will not be our last. There'll be a number of them coming after this. So the way a Terraclip works is the runners will get up very close to a wall, but still far enough away that they can still dash towards it. And then they will dash and save on the same frame. And then by unloading that scene, so they'll go outside the scene and die, they're able to dash through the wall that's now missing. And they will probably do this very quickly. Oh, Jitae took a death there. I look back to his screen and he's going and collecting that cell again.
That is painful.
Yeah, a little difficulty and sorrow for him. And Shed now comes up close to the Terraclip location. This is, I think, all we'll see of Misty. He's going to head straight to Forlorn, and that'll be the end of this. So we saw a quick save from him. He's leaving to unload that area. He's dying, and
now he's on the wall, and now he's now he's out of Misty, and now he's flying.
He's still kind of in Misty. He just hasn't loaded, and now he's out of Misty.
now he's in Forlorn. This is the end of the escape, so it's exactly where we want to be. There's one more health cell in this area.
Yep, and then we'll see a Terraclip over to the left side of Forlorn, where there's a teleporter, and he'll use that to get out of here.
Also, if you don't know, there's a little Easter egg in this area Shed is going to be in right now in the foreground. There's a little meat boy, and he's gone.
I actually didn't know about that.
There is a little meat boy right when you collect the ability, so it's quite nice, since Forlorn is basically a spike hell we're supposed to be in a casual playthrough, and there being a little meat boy is a wonderful Easter egg. Jitaenow also coming up to the Terra Clip location, bringing down his safe.
And Shed successfully completes his second Terra Clip to get over to the left side of Forlorn here, and is teleporting out.
And Jite is also out, and now he's also flying into Forlorn.
So Shed now begins. Actually, I think they need one more skill. They still need to go collect Light Grenade. So we're going to see a Terra Clip from the bottom left side of BRB to the Light Grenade area. Oh, Shed has no energy.
Ooh, that is painful. There's not a big time loss since there's energy right there, but of course you would rather not have to do this.
Yeah, still unfortunate.
Jite just collected his health cell in Forlorn and is now Terra Clipping out.
And with that, Shed, there we go. Successfully makes his way down to Light Grenade, which will very usefully give him an energy refill.
Yeah. And we wouldn't need Light Grenade actually in this run, but the game unfortunately puts some abilities and energy cells behind walls that you can only open with Light Grenades, so that's the only reason we get it.
Jite actually failed this clip the first time and had to load his backup, which I suppose it's a good thing that he had that. And with that, he is successfully out of Forlorn and heading towards Light Grenade.
But that was, of course, a costly time loss, so that is not great for him.
Yeah, he's through a couple of mistakes lost some time on Shed, and Shed now with a I don't know if it's a comfortable lead, but with a noticeable lead.
Definitely.
As he begins his cell collection portion of the run.
Yeah, this is the part of the run that most runners love the most, since this is where you can use all your abilities to their fullest potential. You have all those movement options, and now you can actually use them, which in all skills usually falls a little short. Oh,
yeah, all skills.
One health.
By the time you gotten all of yeah, it looks like he's in a save here just to get a little extra health back.
Since he's going to go for a long swim in poisonous water next, he needs all the health he needs. Ooh, he can get.
Yep.
Taking damage on the slime is not what he wants there.
It doesn't really matter where he had done it after his save, so when he reloads for the Terra Clip, the damage will have reset. Having a little bit of trouble loading here. He's stuck in an invisible floor, and there the game goes.
Right.
For anyone who has never experienced that save or that load delay, it's very annoying to have happen.
Yes, and it only happens on A, very slow PCs, or B, or B on some very specific places in the game.
And Shed takes an unfortunate death there.
But he's taking it very casually, rather slowly now. Even though there's all this water he's swimming in is very poisonous. Now he's killing himself, so his save timer goes down faster, and he can save again quicker.
Yep.
So he can get back up to enough health and can swim back out of here.
So interestingly, we're going to see a slightly different strategy from Jite when he gets to this part. He's actually going to go over to the right. He's going to clip down to that cell. So he'll only need to swim out one way, unlike Shed, who needed to go both directions.
It's a little bit slower, I would assume, since you do have to set up the Terra Clip first.
Yeah, but you don't have to save as much because you have the right amount of health. I actually don't know which is faster. They're probably pretty similar.
Probably. And
with that, Jite does successfully... No, No, he does not. He ends up voiding
Oh,
out before he's able to get down there.
That was unfortunate. He's now trying to get further away so he can clip easier. And he gets it. Now he has the right amount of health and just needs to do the swim once.
And Shed, on the other hand, has successfully clipped his way back into Grotto. Which I know can be a...
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
It can be a very finicky clip, and they were discussing before this race whether they were going to back that one up. Looks like Shed has no trouble with it. We'll see how Jitae's goes. He's starting this right now from this little ledge up here. Looks like he will back us up, so if he has any troubles here, it won't be as big a deal.
Having backups for this run is very helpful, especially since you're going out of bounds so much. If you're making a big mistake out of bounds, it can be very tricky to get the run to be finishable.
Jitae having a bad time with that laser there. That laser can be very finicky. If it doesn't go off when you first hit it, sometimes it will appear to be off, but it'll still kill you. So Jitae plays it safe and switches it again.
Shed now doing a very nice climb up while he's collecting everything in Grotto that he's still missing. They are getting more energy, and here's now the... If you still remember, there was this place where we open up the breakable floor earlier, because otherwise we wouldn't be able to get out again. This is now coming up, and I like to call this butter clip, since you can just... Since this wall is just like butter and you can just bash through it. It's a really easy trick. You just need to bash and hold up and left and you get through.
It's a great name. It's such a great clip where you just bash right through the wall and
yeah.
Turns out there really isn't a wall there.
You can only do it as long as the corruption is there, of course, but still, it's really fun to do. If you haven't done it ever, just try it once. It's probably the easiest way to go out of bounds in any game ever. At least in any game I have ever played.
Definitely the easiest out of bounds in Ori.
That's true, definitely.
Well, there are some other parts with the very easy out of bounds. I guess Ginso portals might take the cake there.
That is true. You only need to stand in the right place and inch yourself through the portal, and you're suddenly out of bounds, which is awesome.
Oh, Jitae must have died there again. He's having a couple of costly deaths. I wonder if he should be using some more of this energy for saving. This gives Sheds a very comfortable lead as he heads into Horo Fields for what is nearly the last cells he will collect.
We're going to see one of the longest out of bounds after this, where you have to save multiple times in the void, since... Well, I should probably explain the void first. If you're in a non-playable area of the game, there's a void there, and the problem with that is if you're in a void, the game thinks after 1 second it needs to put you back into the game and wants to respawn you at your last save point. So you have to save multiple times inside the void. So the game always sets you back to the last save. And if you mess up those void saves, you can very easily softlock yourself.
And thankfully for this upcoming save, the runners both have a couple of extra ability points, so they have some leniency for mistakes, but it's still a relatively risky out of bounds. But I know they're both very confident in it. Neither of them said they needed to back it up. That it's an easy, very easy out of bounds to do.
It's easy to learn, and with all the ability cells, it's rather simple. But again, one mistake, one big mistake, and then that's it. That's a softlock. A very hard to recover softlock too.
Oh, I forgot. They still need to come get the fax cell.
They do. Indeed do. Ooh.
Shed goes for a terror break, gets it successfully first try.
And there's one more. There's 2 more cells where Shed is right now.
You'll have to go get this one over here behind a light grenade door. And then there was one that he just kind of skipped back there up by those birds, and he'll come return for that on his way out. Jitaenow, meanwhile, is on his way into Horu Fields himself. And then he will have to go collect these cells that Shed is getting right now. So I have to feel like Shed's in a pretty comfortable lead right now. There's not a lot of this left, and he has a noticeable lead.
I think the only way how he could mess this up right now would be a soft lock in the void, but I don't see that happening. Now again, commentator's curse, of course.
Yeah. Careful saying that.
Hopefully not. I didn't want to jinx Shed. Or
And,
maybe I did want to.
I think this is the last long swimming section we see in this.
That is true. There's only one more swimming section, which is in the final escape, but we skip half of it and it's really short.
Yep. But yeah, both the runners will out of bounds into the final escape and will enter that segment in the middle of the water.
Exactly.
So I could be wrong, but I think with that, actually, does he still have to do a glaze revisit? He might still have a couple cells here. Yeah, it looks like he's.
I think there's a couple. Yeah, he didn't have the health cell from the beginning yet, right? For example, and the ability cell up there, where the 4th health cell is.
Yeah, I think he still needs both of those.
Yes.
And then there's the energy cell behind the 4 energy door over here. Although.
And the ability cell he just picked.
Will
he go for the crazy strat though? I don't know. I hope he will. That would be that would be a fun to see.
Also coming up, I'm assuming Shed will do it, but it's one of my favorite save anywheres.
Yes, Shed going for the crazy strat, as I like to call it, since
Oh, but he doesn't do the save anywhere. Okay, so there's a very interesting save anywhere. If you save down in the bottom there, unlike a normal. Normally in the game will drop you down to a surface, but since that surface is considered like a kill floor, you can't drop down to it. The game actually raises you up above it, out of that area. I think we'll see Jite doing that when he comes to this section. And Shed now finishing up his Glades revisit. With just a final couple cells behind these light grenade doors, and he is teleporting to Ginso.
Now he's on his way directly to out of bounds into Horu. Wajite picking up the pace as it seems.
Yeah, his movement has been fantastic, and he's been kind of staying as close as he can, but it's been these couple of deaths that have really made this a costly race for Jite.
There were just a couple of deaths that cost him too much time, and otherwise this was a fantastic race. Here we see Shed doing the hyperspeed in the void and saving a couple of times. And now he's in R1 in Horu.
And he didn't end up exactly where he wanted to be, but he's in the right area, and he can go get this last energy cell. And then you will head back to the start of our run. Ooh, stomping on spikes first.
Those are spikes indeed. You need to test those spikes, as we know.
Looks like those ones are working as well.
Shed, please don't die.
At this point, both runners have a ton of health, so it's challenging to die, but not impossible.
It's definitely a hard task. If you want to die, you would need to dash into spikes multiple times, even here in horror where everything does very much damage.
So he will now clip through this tree. He needs to get to the other side so he can save again over there.
And he needs to stomp to catch himself so he doesn't go too far and void out. And he gets it after the third attempt.
And he will now jump up through the void and into the water, and will attempt fish strats to finish the game.
And he gets the fish strats. Perfect. And now he will save the game one last time. One last save anywhere. To skip a little bit here.
It looks like he was a little slow on his menuing there.
He was too slow. He was too slow. If he had exited... Oh, no, he exited and re-enters. All right. It could have been... If he had messed this up, this would have been a soft lock. And that would have cost him at least a minute.
Yeah, he does recover. Looks like he will still be able to finish the game.
Chet is now officially actually done. But timing ends upon losing control of Naru, which happens in about half a minute or 45 seconds, or something around that.
Yeah, in just a little bit of time.
Jitaenow also doing the void walk to R1 in Horu.
But still, the very impressive times for both these runners. A little behind their PBs, but in a race setting, that's kind of very understandable.
They still they still raced very well. This will be like 2 minutes apart of a finish.
Assuming Jitae's able to finish cleanly.
Even with all those even with the costly deaths, it's still just 2 minutes of difference. So that's a very good run.
And looks like Shed was going for a this glitch that Jitae found, and I'm not exactly sure what happened.
He finished the run, and then he used he used the death tool to save the game again, and now we see what happens if you do that. Yeah,
so he should have control of Naru again. I think the idea, and he's trying to walk Naru off the edge
to kill her.
But I'm not sure if everything went exactly as it's supposed to.
I think he messed it up, unfortunately.
Yeah. I think Jitae may be going for this as well when he finishes, so if you stick around for another couple seconds, or I guess like a minute, I think he will try to do that as well.
And since they're using the death tool after they finish the run, these runs are still valid. Which is the best part about this. Jitaenow also basically finished. Only has to hold right.
Yep, just needs to walk Naru past that tree, and then break the game a little more.
And this will be time for Jitae. That's it. Hello.
Hello.
Welcome, Shed. Congratulations on winning.
That was very close.
Thank you.
That was very close for a lot of the run, actually.
Was it? I really felt like I was behind the whole time.
No, it was close for like 30 minutes straight, and then Jitae had a couple of costly deaths, unfortunately.
Oh no!
I think
I
had
mine all in the start.
So
yeah, it was.
He finished
Sorrow was where it started to kind of the lead started to grow. He had a death on his way I think, to the final cell in Sorrow and had to go back to the charge jump tree.
Oh no.
Yes.
Oh no, that's a lot.
He finished 2 minutes, almost 2 minutes exactly behind you. Almost.
But yeah, it was nearly. It was exactly tied multiple times before that. You were both at the stomp tree at the same
Perfect.
time. So
yes,
it
Couldn't
was
ask for anything less, especially with a wall jump death. Holy crap!
that was really costly indeed.
But it was perfect commentator curse. We were discussing how you had gone only 3 HP, and that's not a big deal. It's very likely that
it saves like 7 seconds to go 3 HP.
Yeah, but
himself. And this is what happens if you kill Naro.
Oh, did he do it? I tried to do
yes,
it. I don't know if you could tell at the end. I was trying to do that and failed.
Yeah, I don't quite know what happened with your game, but it wasn't what you were trying to do.
No, it was not.
This is quite interesting, as always.
But yeah, we just mentioned how the damage boosts aren't a big deal. Like, you were not going to die and get sent back to wall jump, and then you jumped into the slime, and it was like, oh no, he's at 1 HP. This might actually happen.
I thought I was at 2. I was not at 2.
Yes. That was...
Man, I was super nervous for those first 2 splits, and then I was panicking up until like charge jump where I just gave up.
Which was, funnily enough, where you then pulled ahead. So
yeah, apparently.
So I noticed that you chose not to back up many of your saves. Well, actually, it looks like we might be moving voice channels.
Oh, okay.
Looks like all right.
Hello.
Yo.
All right, I'm here. Welcome, Jitaenow.
Thank you.
Very well done, GG. It was an incredibly entertaining race to watch.
Thank you.
Here we go. We were rejoined by Ibuki.
Yeah.
Hello.
I made some very big mistakes. I don't know you, Shed. I wasn't watching you, but
I was a minute behind at Enter Blackroot.
Yes.
I was a minute behind the dash.
But
perfect.
Yeah. So Shed died from the very last slime. I think it was he got shot by the last slime right before the Glades teleporter.
Oh, God.
And got sent back to wall jump. And then Jite, you died 2-3 times to the spike pit in BRB.
So I died twice to the spike pit in BRB, and I died in Sorrow. Did you see the death in Sorrow?
No, I missed that one.
Basically, right before the health cell, the last thing I had to do was jump on the platform, but I grabbed the spikes.
Oh,
that's a costly death. Death.
I don't know if you remember, but the grotto split, I was crushed by a crusher, the crusher in the gauntlet, and I was sent back to the clip to grotto.
Yeah, that was.
I had to do all the way back there. I have had to do the grotto split over again.
So my costly things was I died on the way to Blackroot. I hecked up the warp displacement once and key dupe once, and then the last split I got the long cutscene because I'm an idiot and save dropped too early.
Oh, all right. But the real question is,
right.
What ending did you get?
I have no clue. It wasn't that ending, but it wasn't normal.
Did you get the double narrow?
No, he got a whole new special ending.
No, I need to see that.
So he messed up his cutscene, and it was turning red and white, and all sorts of bad things were happening. And
it was after
finally
timing ended though, so it's fine.
Yeah, finally after that went on for a little while, the actual normal cutscene started playing with the eggs and whatnot, and but
right.
there was some really weird stuff going on.
I need to watch that. But yeah, I'm sitting on time traveling Naru, as you can see. Naru looking back as it destroys Kuro. Only the eyes are left.
I think we stopped streaming, right? I don't
I
know.
don't know.
No, we're still up.
The mixer's
Oh,
off,
stop.
but we're still
but-
on Twitch.
What's your time, Shed?
Was a
You're-
45-41.
Oh,
You're
well,
2 minutes
Should have been a
apart.
44-41 if I didn't heck up the cutscene.
mine
You're
was a
2 minutes
47-40. Oh,
2
boy.
minutes apart, almost exactly. Like half. There's half
Also-
a second.
Also, I
This is the
think
best
my
category.
It is.
I think
It's
my
a really
golds
good
are
category.
messed up for some reason. It gave me a 1 minute gold. I'm not
don't
sure why, but I
I
got
got
a
3
one.
real golds.
No, I got a 117 gold on Valley, not Glades. Revisit.
Uh,
All right.
Well, congratulations on that. That's very impressive.
Apparently, I got like a 20-second Glades or something.
That's fascinating.
But well, it was fun.
Yeah. Thanks for putting this together, you two, and for running.
That was
Thank
a fun
you.
race.
More people should run this category. It's great.
Yes,
It is
It's
pretty
absolutely
good, yes.
wonderful.
It is a great category.
Thank you very much, Richard, for streaming. Shepard
Yes,
for racing
thank
with
you,
me,
Richard.
Melton and Ivuki for commentating.
Always.
And I'm gonna watch the run as soon as I'm finished.
It's
Same.
my pleasure. And thanks everyone for watching. Thanks Richard for mentioning this. There's a randomizer weekly that's gonna be starting in I think 3 minutes.
So
that won't be on this channel, but if you are interested in joining, there'll be some talk about it in the Ori Randomizer channel on our Discord.
Nice.
And please come join that. Those are always lots of fun.
Thank you very much
the
for
randomizer is
watching.
part of that. Yes. And thanks everyone. Is it in an hour? It could be in an hour. I don't know when it starts.
I'm not sure. It
Looks like 30
Or
minutes.
in an hour. Oh yeah. They said it's like at 5:30 or something. So I think half an hour.
I have 2 people telling me 30 minutes, so I'm gonna go with that.
That makes sense. I trust them.
Perfect.
But thanks everyone for watching, and enjoy the rest of your day, or have a good night, good morning, wherever you are in the world.
Goodbye.
But goodbye.
Goodbye.
Yay.
Yay.
Whew. It was fun.